I'll say right off the bat, it's not a bad movie. It's better than Beverly Hills Cop 3. Here is my problem with this movie. Did I laugh? No, not really. I giggled a couple times. When I watched those Beverly Hills Cop movies, 1 and 2, I still laugh. Even though I've seen the same jokes 1,000 times, I still laugh. And here's my thing. I've been trying to figure out how to word this because Mike and I are comedians, okay? Eddie Murphy, arguably the most raw, talented, gifted comedian of all time, arguably. The dude was killing it at 19.
Number one
19.
Guy.
He literally just was funny right off the rip. 19. But, so I do feel, I'm aware that I am filming a show in a Brood Awakenings no one's watching, and I can't compare myself to Eddie Murphy. Let me get that off the bat. I know who I am, okay? But I will say this. I think where Eddie Murphy went wrong is giving up doing stand-up comedy years ago. I think he's lost his edge. I don't think he's been funny for years and years and years. And I think it's not because he's not naturally gifted. He is naturally gifted. It's because he stopped doing stand-up. You gotta stay sharp. The reason Dave Chappelle is still funny all these years later is because he never stopped doing stand-up. And it breaks my heart as a fan of Eddie Murphy. I really think he would be the best comic of all time if he just stayed with it. The whole movie and anything I've seen him in, when he did SNL a couple years ago, I feel like he's holding back, like he's reserved. I think they should have took Eddie Murphy before the filming of Axel F and loaded him up on cocaine. I wanted to see him bouncing around, like in the other Beverly Hills Cop, where he's like, I'm a businessman, I gotta make business. The whole movie, he just seems like a chill dad at a soccer game with his kids. He's holding back. I don't want him to hold back. Right off the bat, this is going to upset Mike, but if you let me explain, it'll make sense.
I've been letting you explain for the last 5 minutes.
I know. I told you I had a lot to say, and I apologize. Everyone's already tuned out of the show by now. But I thought he should have gotten better shape. Now, do you No, here's why.
No, I'm totally in agreement. All of them. But that's the problem.
Why.
I used to be ripped too.
Here's why, though. Do you have to be in shape to be funny? No, clearly not. This guy's hilarious. My favorite stand-up comic ever is Patrice O'Neal. He literally died from being fat. That's not my point. My point is, if Eddie Murphy shows up energetic and in shape, it shows me he gives a shit. When Tom Cruise came back and did Maverick, he was ripped to shit. Does he have to fly a plane? No, but it shows me he's committed to the role. When Stallone comes back and does Balboa, he's ripped to shit because he's all in on this pot. So if I'm supposed to believe that Axel Foley all these years is obsessed with fighting crime, being on the street, he won't give up, he should be full of energy, fucking ripped and ready to go.
The way they were describing him is he should have still been that guy.
Intense, but he's like this. What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
I was trying to think of who he resembled, as the shape he was in and the way he was acting. I was like,
it's called a dad bod.
It wasn't Axel Foley. It was like a guy who works at Best Buy.
Yes.
And he was taking forever to come to the aisle to help you.
That's
the feeling I got from him.
He's a likable guy at Best Buy, but is he cracking me up? No. This is what it was like. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F was like watching Michael Jordan on the Wizards. That's what it was like. You get to see him a little bit, in little glimpses of Jordan still there. Now, Beverly Hills Cop 3 was like Michael Jordan playing baseball. It was just complete trash and unrelated. This was like glimpses, but not it. I never once felt like that character on my TV right now is Axel Foley. Did not think so. It was the Best Buy dad bod guy.
Now, here's my take on it. Now, you said you grew up on Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, and I didn't even bother watching 3, but I did binge watch all 3 of them the other day. And the reason why I never watched them before is because when they came out, closed caption wasn't a thing. Right. So I really couldn't enjoy them. So closed caption wasn't a thing then, and then closed caption didn't come out to the 90s, early 90s. But anyway, so I did binge watch it. It was fresh in my memory. And being a comedian and being I like to see that stuff. We do see things differently.
We do.
I did point a couple things out to you that drove me absolutely crazy. When I say that, I mean funny. That stuff makes me laugh. And there was stuff like that. So with Sergey.
Serge,
Serge
I
was
knew
the
you would
best.
love Serge. So like Mike's saying, he just watched all of them this week to
that
prepare
type
for
of
this.
stuff, yeah.
Serge is still awesome, has always
Yeah.
been. The scene with Serge at Beverly Hills Cop 1 is so funny.
It's the best.
He's funny. Eddie Murphy's hilarious in that scene. That scene's great.
No.
I liked all the side characters. I thought Taggart was perfect. Like, he's as screwed up as you would imagine he would be all these years later. I thought Rosewood was good. I wish she was in it a little bit more. I thought the side characters were really good, but you need Eddie Murphy to be Eddie Murphy, and he's not Eddie Murphy. He's a shadow of his
shell
former
of
self.
Eddie Murphy. And so I think we could both agree Beverly Hills Cop 1, best one all the time.
Yes.
Right?
I like 2 also, but yes.
Now, you've seen it thousands of times.
Thousand.
All right, so what kind of car did he drive in Beverly Hills Cop 1?
The blue car?
Yeah.
I forget what's that called? I forget.
It's a Nova, Chevy
Nova,
Nova.
yes.
But now, do you see the shape it was in?
Yes.
So what did I do as soon as I watched it? He drove from there, Detroit to Beverly Hills.
Is that
it's
what
2,300 miles. There's no way that car did a 5,000-mile round trip.
Mike's.
So
That's what Mike took out of the film.
That's the kind of stuff that goes through my head. What kind of car did he do in number 2?
Now, Mike, let me ask you this question. There's literally bullets whizzing by this guy's head. Nobody's getting hurt. Mike's like, there's no way that car doesn't break down. That's what you took out of it. The gun scene at the mansion, he totally buys the gun scene at the mansion.
It
But
gets
those
better.
bullets.
Second movie was pretty cool because some little things that some other people might not have noticed. Bridget Nielsen was in it.
She was great in it.
Yeah, Bridget Nielsen was great. Now, as you know, Bridget Nielsen was also married to Sylvester Stallone.
I'm aware.
And this was way before Tinder, way before anything like that.
Stallone's huge on Tinder.
You know how she scored Sylvester Stallone?
I don't know.
She's like from Pakistan or something like that. She sent a nude picture of herself in the mail, like licking the envelope. That's how long ago it was. And he ended up marrying her from the nude picture.
Ironically, that's how Mike met his wife. He
Yes,
sent
exactly.
her a nude picture of himself.
But a charcoal sketch of one. Anyways, shout out to Bill Simons. That's one of his jokes, right? So now, but here's the thing. Did you notice in that movie, Beverly Hills Cop 2, by the way, it was a Cutlass Supreme convertible. That was the second car, which absolutely beautiful, beautiful car, one of my dream cars. So Bridget Nielsen was married to Sylvester Stallone, and it was around the time that they were married or just got divorced. But when they went and with Judge Reinhold, is that how you say his name? I like him.
He's great.
I like him. I didn't like him in 3 because any
mean
cartel
4?
guy, they would have just shot him and killed him and worried about the SD card. Anyways, but do you notice when they went in his bedroom, there was a Rocky poster?
You know why?
No, there's a reason. See, I noticed it, but
Yeah, I'm going
there's
to
a
teach you
reason
something
why.
right now. The reason there's so many Stallone references in the Beverly Hills Cop movies, there's posters, there's multiple references to it in those movies. Because Stallone was the original lead actor for Beverly Hills Cop.
Instead of Axel,
Yes,
instead
was-
of Eddie Murphy?
Yes.
No way.
And it was good. If you ever seen the movie Cobra, Cobra is what Stallone ended up doing. That was the direction Stallone wanted to take it. It took a complete different turn when they went from Stallone to Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, comedy.
And boom. Well, the great thing as a fan of Stallone and Eddie Murphy, I got both. I got to see Cobra, which I love, and I got to see Beverly Hills Cop, which is one of my favorite movies ever. I do want to say this because I'm going to forget, and I think you'll agree with me. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but the greatest part of this movie was...
Wait, we're way beyond spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We just laid out the whole plot for you. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Eddie Murphy's fat.
Spoiler alert, his car breaks down in Nevada. He has to
Not
sleep
only
with the
he's
Cloud
fat, they're
Hotel.
all fat. Every one of them fat. It's just like an out of shape. It's like New Year's Day at Planet Fitness fat. That's how fat they were. They were all fat. It was just insane. But now, I want to say one thing
It's
before
like the
I forget.
Expendables, but instead of getting in shape, they all ate a ton. Wait, before, I'm going to forget, then you say your thing. You're going to agree with me on this.
Okay, got it.
Greatest part of the movie, Shooter McGavin showing up. Shooter McGavin, arguably the greatest movie villain of all time. Him showing up was absolutely
Did you
amazing.
wait? Was you waiting for him to go like this?
Yeah, Shooter.
Yeah, and he didn't, which made it kind of funny. Now, it's kind of why I'm pissed off about the movie. I understand movies are movies. My wife says when I pick a movie apart, it's a movie, she says. I said, but make it somewhat believable. Beverly Hills Cop 1, the only part that wasn't believable was the part where...
The car.
No, the very beginning where he just gets knocked out and they kill his friend there. Most mobsters kill all witnesses right there. They should just shot him too. They shot the other guy twice.
He didn't want to commit a hate crime. That's what it was.
But here's
very
ready?
socially conscious.
Wait. The helicopter scene in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F or whatever what they call it.
That scene. I like that scene. It's fun.
Stole a helicopter from the top of the police department.
That was fun.
And went through the streets of Los Angeles, like on the street, like the helicopter. Not one decapitation. Nobody got caught up in the blades.
He's so disappointed about it.
They're shooting at it and everything. And the scene, stop me if I'm lying, went on for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was good. I liked that scene.
All right, so a helicopter on the streets of LA, just total chaos. Like, everybody's shooting at it, they're pulling it, and not only that, they can hear each other from the car to the cockpit. They can hear, all right. But
it's very sensitive with the hearing.
I paused the movie and I looked at it. It was 35 minutes left in the movie. Not once in the next 35 minutes did anybody say, dude, you guys went down the street in a helicopter? That's crazy. Nobody brought it up again. It was probably, if that ever happened in real life, that's the only thing that's on the rest of the movie should have been like, did you guys really take a helicopter down the streets of LA?
Mike thought he was watching Schindler's List. He's looking for historical accuracy. Do you realize it's Beverly Hills Cop? Just eat some popcorn and enjoy yourself, Mike. It's not a...
Just a straight up regular car chase would have been fine. And then they're not only that, they're fighting machine guns with six bullet revolvers.
Mike, my point in this movie was the action good and was the comedy good. The action was good. The comedy was not. It wasn't good.
Yeah. I watched, and then
you wanted somebody to get decapitated.
The next day, say what you want. I watched Melissa McCarthy on Identity Theft the next day and laughed way more times than I did with Beverly Hills Cop.
It's sad to say, but that actually was a decent movie.
It was funny.
I'm not ashamed to say that was a decent movie.
There was a lot of good lines. She has good lines.
Now, if you're looking for realism, maybe I told Mike you should watch The Golden Child. Let me just tell you right now, it's not realistic. So if you can't enjoy it, don't bother. But it's a great movie, The Golden Child.
I think somebody should have said something about the helicopter.
I can't believe that's what this fucking guy took out of this. I'm like so like destroyed. Oh, back to my whole point.
It's like a Godzilla movie, and then Godzilla comes and he just crushes Johnson. Steps on Johnson Memorial Park, crushes it. Boom. 35 minutes left in the movie. Not a mention of Godzilla crushing Johnson. Not a mention. That's my problem.
I knew Mike was going to come out of it for some weird angle. I want to get back to my original point before we wrap up. My original point was, it kills me that Eddie Murphy stopped doing stand-up. That kills me. And on top of that, last night, to prepare for this, I listened to a recent, lengthy interview with Eddie Murphy. And they asked him, because if you remember, 5 years ago, there was a lot of talk about him coming back
to the stage.
Here's what happened. The fucking pandemic, which ruined our lives, right when he was preparing to do it, and he was going to go all in, go out, hit the road, work on an act, and build an act for Netflix, the pandemic happened. Since then, he was like, this is the analogy he said in the interview, which broke my heart. He goes, if you're on the front line in war all these years, and then you finally moved up to general, do you want to go back and fight on the front line? He goes, I don't want to. But that's the bullshit, man. That's why Tom Brady was so awesome, because Tom Brady
a true stand-up would never make that comment.
Yeah,
Tom Brady would never make that comment.
Kept getting up.
Look at Seinfeld. Seinfeld was a multi-billionaire and still retired his set and went out there and ate it.
He's still doing it. Yes, there's a good footage in a documentary with Seinfeld when he returns to stand-up. He's bombing at first. And Seinfeld, in my opinion, is not as good of a stand-up as Eddie Murphy.
No.
He's just not as funny of a guy he is.
That was the other thing. What they did good. And first and second one, the opening scenes when he's acting like he's lying and he's doing his character to get, because he's in undercover. So the first one was with the cigarettes, the second one was with
great.
with the credit.
I love those scenes.
Awesome. And the third one, it was like, there was no oomph.
Nothing.
There was nothing. Like you said, he wasn't passionate.
He half-asses it.
He mailed it in.
He mailed it.
It felt like how do you say it, ensemble movie. It felt like couples retreat, like all these famous people coming together for a movie, all for the sake of the box office.
Yeah. Do you agree with me that if Eddie Murphy, when he talked about it 5 years ago, if he had gone all into stand-up
it would have been way better.
Wouldn't this movie have been awesome?
If he had 5 years doing stand-up,
this movie would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome because, he would have brought that energy to the screen because that's what the energy he had when he was doing the first one. And I agree, all early Eddie Murphy stuff was amazing. Amazing.
And again, to reiterate, to close, we realize that we're not better than Eddie Murphy. All right?
No, we never claimed to be. And
the comments are going to say...
In the credits, it's going to say, not really Eddie Murphy.
In the comments, someone's going to be like, who the hell are these two clowns to disrespect Eddie Murphy?
Oh, you know that's going to happen. Here, these two guys in a coffee shop making no money are telling us that Eddie Murphy's... No, we're not saying he sucks. We're saying the movie sucks. Because we feel, and it's our opinion, that he kind of mailed it in.
He mailed it in.